Hello, all of you vaingloriously wonderful people. This is the Nagasaki Shinobi. And I'm about to find out if it'll off-road. Of course, the Shinobi from the Contract DLC. We are on the Contract DLC season of Will It Off-Road. We're like 160 plus videos with this series. Even more if you count the Will It Off-Road with the races and Will It Off-Road in the snow. And this one, the one you're watching right now, might be the most exciting and the most entertaining of the entire series yet. A lot of cool stuff is about to happen, and a lot of weird stuff is about to happen, and a lot of pretty funny stuff is about to happen. First of which is, I kind of screwed up and didn't get the best start on this bike, and that's definitely going to cost it. That cost a good 3 or 4 seconds, but I made the judgment call of not starting over because honestly, I didn't feel that was just my fault. I think it's the characteristic of the bike. Here in the terrain that we're in, you can see I'm bouncing all over the place, and I'm finding it really difficult to be able to have the front wheel on the ground to steer. And that's exactly what happened when we bounced off the trail at the very beginning. And there we just got slowed down by a hiker. But holy cow, look, we're a minute in and look how far up the mountain we already are. This thing is zooming. Absolutely flying. And of course, you can see an even better version of this video with the behind the scenes version. You get access to that on the Vainglorious Discord server with your Vainglorious supporter role. And you gain that role by being either a YouTube member, a Twitch subscriber, or making a monthly pledge over at patreon.com/vainglorious. Link your respective service, or hey, if you're supporting me on all three, thank you. That's awesome. I don't think anybody's actually done that yet, but hey, you could be the first. But link your respective service to Discord. You'll automatically get the appropriate role, and then I post links in the supporters channel to the behind-the-scenes version of Will It Off-Road and other community videos, along with occasional other stuff as well for supporters only. And of course, supporters only get a much louder voice and suggestions for future content on the channel. So there's another perk for you. And if you want to pick up some Will It Off-Road merch, hit that link right there on the screen. It's also in the description down below. And you can get some Will It Off-Road themed merch. So yeah, we're up at the top of the mountain. Having a little bit of an issue here at the final little bit. But we're up 2 minutes, 21 seconds. So Will It Off-Road? Yeah. That makes it the new #1 vehicle in Will It Off-Road because we don't really count the Buzzard. It was all done. It's a meme. The Buzzard will always be at the top of the spreadsheet. Nothing's ever going to beat the Buzzard up the mountain. No. Maybe. I didn't expect to see our last record holder fall by as much as it did. And I didn't expect me to fall off. Just get ready. First of many. Maybe not during the controlled descent, but first of many times I become separated from my bike. Both bikes, in fact. We're doing 2 bikes today. But #1 overall out of 332 vehicles, 1.1 seconds faster than the Vagrant. The Vagrant held the #1 spot for just 3 days shy of 2 full years. That's right. 2 years. It was set on February 17th, 2020. I wonder how long the Shinobi can hold #1. It'll be interesting to see. It really will, because it seems like, while some of the cars from a lot of the DLC aren't faster on the road, they seem to be doing better on the mountain. But speaking of, I hit a hiker. Perfect segue because I laughed about it. You need to be playing Will It Off-Road Bingo. Why is it a segue? Because that's one of the possible cards you can get a Will It Off-Road Bingo that I hit a biker and laugh about it. He's trying to ride his bike over there. Look at the show off. Link is in the description down below. You just click on that link, takes you to a website. You generate a new card, and then you tap or click as things happen in the video. And if you get bingo, throw it down in the comments down below. Bingo. And you'll be like our 5th winner ever in Will It Off-Road Bingo. So it'd be kind of cool to have some more winners on that. Of course, since it's the new #1 fastest overall, that does mean it is the fastest in motorcycles. 10 2.08 seconds faster than the Western Sovereign. The Sovereign got a good time. It's a slow bike, but because of that, it was just steady up the mountain. No bouncing, no weirdness with wheel spin and grip. By the way, we're down 2 minutes, 8 seconds. We're going to go top of Mount Chiliad as we talk about this. Also being, of course, the #1 vehicle from the contract DLC, 13.5 seconds faster than the Ignis. Kind of impressive. And, yeah, we all knew this was going to happen, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure what killed me was actually getting hit by the bike there. And I'm not exactly close to my bike. I mean, I kind of am. It put me fairly close. So the thing is, there's no real easy way down from where I'm standing. I think maybe if I would have done one more jump there, I wouldn't have fallen here, and that wouldn't have happened. But I didn't, so it did. And we're just going to go ahead and speed footage up, because, well, yeah, you can see it's not going the best getting back to the bike. For a minute, I couldn't even see the icon for my bike because everybody was like hovering over it. I guess guarding it. I don't know from what werewolves. I don't know. Werewolves? How about just regular wolves or mountain lions? But yeah, I figured we just speed up the footage 500% there, so 5 times faster than normal. Hopefully you didn't get motion sickness. But we're back to the Shinobi. Let's see how long I can stay on it this time. We're already only 3 minutes into our damage this here. Definitely taking a while. I'm trying to steer clear of any major obstacles, but I forgot about boulders. Yeah, so just be aware. Headbutting a boulder at full throttle on a motorcycle, probably not the best. Also, jumping off the edge of a little cliff into a ravine where there's a helicopter hovering in FM racing, also maybe not the best idea. But hey, look at this. Thread the needle. Done. Check that off on your card. And in fact, look at that. 2 in a row. Man, if you had it twice, which you can, but if you did, that'd be pretty awesome. That one doesn't really count because I wasn't going very fast. Thought I'd try to get some speed and go over the woodpile, but the thing just bounces around. It's really annoying. But we are finally down 4 minutes, 12 seconds, and now he puts the helmet on. So let's take a look at the damage, and surprisingly, the headlights, that's it. That's all on the bike. Of course, I died 4 times coming down the mountain, so we are counting the deaths as damage. I was collateral damage, I guess you could say. But I think, you know, my character's life is worth mentioning for the headshot. There's our support vehicles, including the dead helicopter. I know it sounds like it's running, but that's just because of the video that's running underneath. But that is going to bring us to our next vehicle, the Western Reever. This thing just came out, like 3 days ago when I'm recording this voiceover, but been over a week now by the time this video goes live. This will go live on the 15th? 14th? I don't know. Yeah, 14th. I was looking at my computer trying to figure out what day it is. So, starting our ascent on the Reever, you know, this bike is an interesting one. Like, first of all, I gotta say I can appreciate. I said bad things about it when it came out, but I will say this about it: it doesn't bounce around like the Shinobi. It does bounce some because it's a bike, and that's gonna happen, but not nearly as bad. Like the Shinobi was all over the place with even the tiniest bump, and it seemed to like overreact to every bump. Like it would significantly throw you in a different trajectory. This though, much more planted. On the landings, it doesn't bounce. It just keeps going. I guess maybe there's a little bit of a bounce in the landings, but not too much. It is very cloudy. It looks like it's going to rain. But you may notice this is moving. We were at a minute here on the Shinobi, and we were only at 56 seconds there. Yeah, we're hauling ass, man. These bikes, they may not be good for racing. They you know, and just general transportation. And I really didn't expect much out of the Reever because there's not many opportunities going up the mountain to wheelie. You know, because it's just constant turns plus all the bumps. You don't really want to be wheeling, because if you're doing a wheelie, when you hit one of those bumps, you may just ping right off the side of the mountain. And you don't want that. Nobody wants that. Okay, well, people watching wanting to laugh want that. But, you know, there, I did a wheelie, and it kind of sent me off the side into the bushes. You know, there's not a whole lot of places you can really get away with wheeling. I started through there and chickened out. But I don't think it's going to matter, because this thing, it's moving. It is just rocketing up. We're not even at 2 minutes yet. All my little promos for merch and Patreon and everything haven't even finished yet. Yeah. In fact, I had to bump these two a little bit earlier. Cost myself a little bit of time there. We could have gotten an even better time, but we are up 2 minutes, 14 seconds. So will it off-road? Yep. And, you know, the Shinobi did not get to hold on to the #1 position for very long, did it? Not only did it not get to hold on to it very long, it got absolutely destroyed. 7.07 seconds faster than the Shinobi. So that makes it the new #1 overall, #1 in bikes and in the contract DLC, of course. But just to compare it to, the previous record holder of the Vagrant, 8.2 seconds. And Donkey, what are you doing? That Donkey got taken out by that tree. Oh, man. I almost got taken out by a finch right there. I really never expected the Vagrant to fall. And if it would have, I never expected it to fall by 8 seconds. So it's going to be probably a long time before we see a new #1 vehicle. 214. That's going to be tough to beat. It is astounding how well this bike did. Unfortunately, I did bounce it off the side of the wall there, and that is going to cause a very big problem. Not only did I die, but we're going to speed the footage up here. And I know I passed where the bike was, and that's because I made the mistake of falling off the side. One too many jumps. Almost got rid of my SUV. Trying my best to get up toward this, and listen closely. I don't know how well you can hear that with the way YouTube compresses videos. But there is, very clearly, I am at the icon for my bike. I'm pressing Y just in case it's completely hidden by that bush, and it's not. And I can hear the engine running, but it's not here. Charlie even gets out of his car. He's like, wait, you can hear the engine running? And he comes over. He's like, yeah, I can hear the engine running too. So it wasn't just me. We could hear the engine running. So I wasn't really sure what was going on. I went to try to take a peek to see if maybe it was down past a little bit, and it just was, the icon wasn't quite where it needed to be, and managed to die again. But keep an eye on what happened there. The icon started moving, and now look, bottom left corner of your screen, it is teleported all the way down to that road. So I guess when it landed, it went, if you go back and look, it kind of shot up and over a hill. I guess it went beneath the mountain. Maybe because nobody was in relevance to see where it went, and of course I was dead. Maybe that caused it to not have a collision with the terrain. I missed my turn. No problem on the bike. Hop over it. I don't really know what happened there. I've never had anything happen like that in Will It Off-Road ever. And that's not the only thing that has never happened in Will It Off-Road that's going to happen in this video. Just keep watching. But, it was just the most bizarre thing. We were just stumped. I know it didn't seem like we were there all that long because I sped up the footage, but we were scratching our heads for a good minute and a half before it finally started sliding and wound up down at the road. I guess the game finally realized, oh, hey, there's a motorcycle under the mountain. How about we move that? I was going to try something really cool right here. I was going to try to jump up onto the building, but I didn't as I gunned it, I hit a tree instead, managed to hit my face on a pillar, and just fell off instead. So what was going to be really cool, jumping over the building and kind of coming down, instead was just failure. Note to self, I usually will not do a controlled descent in the rain. Because I want it to be reflective of good conditions and everything. Ooh, a 9F, good G, Fred. It doesn't matter on the damage descent so much, but I usually won't do any ascent or controlled descent. But the rain was forecast to go for so long. Yes, GTA weather can be forecast. That it would have been, we would have had to wait a second night to finish recording. We had already waited one. And I hate to ask that of the people that are in the video with me to go that long. You may wonder why I'm not speeding up the footage here, and that's just because it doesn't take me all that long to get back on the bike. This damage descent is not as calamity filled, but like I said, do keep watching. A first is going to happen in this damage descent. Something that has never happened in the 160 plus videos that we've had in Will It Off-Road. How I survived all this, I don't even know, especially considering those two cars just shot past me and did not run me over. I don't know how I haven't broken my spine by now, but I survived it. I'm baffled. I'm glad, because it, means not having to run around to try to get back to my bike. And once again, everybody's just kind of guarding the bike. I don't know how Hubble got that much damage on the new Ranger. That thing is trash. And there's just a purple door chilling, keeping watch over my Reever for me. There's Donkey's Tryhard Mark 1. Ooh, we have a nasty engine rattle on the Reever. And yes, this thing does have 100% armor. Now it's bouncing around. I wonder if I've broken the suspension, because it's not behaving the way it did earlier. I don't know. I want to count that as a thread the needle, but I wasn't really going all that fast, so I don't think I can. Count that one, though, because that one was going pretty good. But buckle in, friends. We're about to just this is priceless. Yeah. I have never, ever, not once in the history of Full Off-Road died at the finish line of the damage descent. Of course, on the Lights of God has severe edge damage, and I died twice. Almost 3 times, but definitely 2. And one was by a Jeep. And it actually wasn't the Jeep hitting me. Like, I watched it frame by frame. It was the final impact with the ground that killed me. The Jeep just took most of my health. But I didn't actually die till my backside hit the ground. There's our support vehicles, including Donkey failing to wheelie over Commander's Granger. Commander's Granger's back in. Kind of looked like, well, just look at it and go out. You know what it looks like. Anyways, guys, make sure you play Will It Off-Road Bingo. Come hang out with us on the Banglers Discord server. Next week, we will have a Buffalo-themed Will It Off-Road, so make sure you tune in for that. And until then, I'm Brandon, reminding you to stay vainglorious.